Thanks, Mr. Oppenheimer, for your presentation. Just maybe a question for record purposes. Are you, in your personal capacity, on behalf of UCT, a certain department or institution?
I currently hold an honors degree from the Department of Philosophy, and I'm currently finishing off my final year of law in the law department.
So I presume you in your personal capacity?
In my personal capacity, yes.
Thanks. Right. Before we open up for members, I'm just going to give the publication board an opportunity just for some comments, and then we'll open up.
Mr. Oppenheimer, I think it would be interesting and quite informative if we were to, I don't know if you've seen the research that the Federal Publication Board did on the exposure of children in South Africa to pornography.
I haven't had the pleasure of seeing that information. I'm not looking at that information at all. What I'm concerned with is virtual child pornography, not children's access to explicit materials. I support prohibition of children's access to those materials.
I was just judging within context your overall paper, and I think there's aspects that would be helpful. That I think if you look at that in terms of real research that has been done, and in light of the connections, whether they're facts or fiction, the connections that you've actually brought about and the disconnections. So I think just go through it and then maybe update your paper. I think you will find it very interesting. No, just as a matter of, just to help the committee contextualize some of the things that you raised, which I think are important, because we are not limited to virtual only.
I'd just like to respond to that. I think there's a huge misnomer that pornography causes harm. Okay, and so my material is all footnoted. You can all research exactly where my stuff comes from, so you can check that out. We're not looking specifically at the effects on children. I'm looking at harm to other people, and our regulated framework is about preventing harm.
Thanks for that, Kosi, and Honorable Matabela and Honorable Swart.
Thank you, Chairperson. I wonder whether the presenter read the bill well, because the bill, there is nowhere where they classify.
You're very correct. It doesn't say so in the bill. It says so in the Act, principally in the Act. I can read to you the definition. Section 1A of the Films Publications Act of 1996. Child pornography includes any image, however created, or any description of a person, real or simulated, who is or is depicted or is described as being under the age of 18 years old, engaged in sexual conduct, etc., etc., etc. The rest is pretty similar to my definition. So my problem comes in with this idea of saying any image, however created, any description of a person, real or simulated, is depicted or described as being under the age of 18. So it very much so is in the law at the moment. And I'm asking you to amend this via the use of the amendment bill. Thank you.
Thank you, Chairperson. Let me go further by saying the presenter is saying the state is not justified in instituting criminal sanction against those that produce, distribute, and possess child pornography.
Virtual child pornography.
Yes.
There's a difference. I'm not saying that the state is not justified in prohibiting child pornography. I want you to get the definition right. And what I'm saying is that there's a difference between real child pornography, which includes real children, I think that's bad and wrong and deserves criminal sanctions, versus virtual child pornography, which does not include real children. And I'm saying that you don't make the distinction in the definition. And that's all I'm imploring you to do. Make the distinction. Stop prohibiting artistic materials that don't involve real children. Thank you.
No, speak again, seriously.
Okay. No, thank you, Chairperson. Thank you, Chairperson. Again, Chairperson, let me inform the presenter that his rights cannot override the children's rights not to see pornography. Are you aware that the Constitution does not give you the power to override somebody's rights?
I'm just going to draw back to the point that I'm not looking at a child's access to pornography. I also think that you have to find really hard where it says in the Constitution that a child does not have a right to not be exposed to pornography. I'm not looking at that issue at all, though. All I'm looking at is virtual child pornography and its prohibition. Let's leave ourselves to that debate, not the way that children get exposed to pornography. That was adequately addressed by other members who were given submissions. Thank you.
Rickman, I thought you would just continue with the...
No, Chair, just to fill you in, it's the Honourable Matabela, then Honourable Swart, and yeah. No, she's first, then you. Sorry. You can proceed.
Presenter, okay, are you fine?
I'm okay, thank you very much.
Just to get clarity from the presenter, I'm getting lost because there are different pornographies. If he could explain, the difference between virtual and real child pornography, because I don't understand what is virtual child porn.
Thank you. I'd be very happy to explain the difference again. I might have to refer back to my paper. Okay. Basically, in short, real child pornography means you use real children. Okay. So that means like the images in the Daily Voice have real children in them. Okay. I object to that strongly. I think that's documenting the abuse of children. I think it's evil. Okay. And I think we all agree with that. Virtual child pornography, on the other hand, does not involve real children. Okay. No child at all, no person sometimes even used. So let me give you an example. Okay. We take an adult who is over the age of 18 years old, okay, and we make them appear as if they were under the age of 18, okay, and they engage in sexual activity. That now would be virtual child pornography. Another example would be a painting, a cartoon, a sketch, etc. that doesn't involve a real child, but depicts a child involved in sexual activity. And I'm saying that the examples of these things are numerous. Okay, I gave the example of Romeo and Juliet, I gave the example of traffic. These things are currently consumed in our culture. Okay, there are numerous works of art and literature that describe this kind of stuff, and currently are prohibited by the Act, and I object to that strongly. Thank you.